So
Okay.
just start again. In this project,
In this project, I'm the international advisor, and so I'm supposed to look after the project, and then guide wherever it is necessary, and put things in a proper direction when things go in various other ways. With my own experience, whatever experience that have, that based on that, in fact, we learn together. That's what I think, because every project is new for us, and Sucre definitely it is going to be new, and simultaneously we have put up a similar facility after Sucre has put, I mean, after you have put in Sucre in India. That so we parallelly we are going to do this, but that is the different purpose. That's for a river, and this is for a swamp. So both the approaches will be different. The strategies will be completely different, and we are going to learn. And this learning will help us to do more bigger projects later in a large scale. So we will have more wavelengths to do that. I think when you go through this process of and in my opinion, this is the world's first phycoremediation production unit.
Okay, you just got back to my next question.
Okay.
Can you tell us why this project is so special?
Because nobody else has done it before. Because we have a different approach. Like,
I'm going to ask you again.
okay,
Can you go back and say this project is special because?
this project is special because this is an approach that is something new, which nobody has done it in anywhere, tried anywhere in the world. To tell you the basics, it is like, in any polluted water body, you will have beneficial algae or toxic algae, and you will have, beneficial algae and toxic algae. When the toxic algae or the harmful algae are in large number, then there is a problem, like in Sucre swamp or in the reservoir where we have the cattle death or fish die due to toxicity or unoxygenic conditions. So what we do is we collect the sample, identify the algae, and along with the harmful algae, there will be beneficial algae growing in small number. They will be very weak. So we isolate them, bring them to this facility, central facility, where we grow them with a lot of nutrients, make them stronger, and grow in a large intensity, and take them back and put them in their original ecosystem. Now they are ready to fight with the harmful algae because they are very strong, they are in large number. That is the war kind of strategy we are planning in this. That nobody has done it so far. This is a kind of very eco-friendly approach. We are not adding anything new from anywhere. It's all there. Only thing is we just change the ratio and make the beneficial fellow stronger and fight with the harmful fellow. Evil against. Yes.
That was a great answer.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to know what is different about the approach in this project compared with other approaches. So let me give you a context of what I mean. The methodology here is not been done before,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So can you tell us, compared with the other work that has been done in other places, why the methodology of this project?
Actually,
is
if you see the
Wait until
okay,
you finish.
because since I understood.
So again, so
Okay.
like the methodology of this project is unique because. Start with that.
Okay, because
No,
this
you
this
say the whole phrase. The methodology of this.
so the methodology of this is unique because nobody has tried this, because in the literature nobody has done it in large scale. Then we will be talking about small volume or small bottle experiments or laboratory simulated experiments or completely artificial setup where you can control factors and make things happen. Whereas in natural environment, what we are talking about, you cannot control all the factors. If you start controlling factors, it will become very expensive and very unnatural. So what we normally tell people very crudely is, this technology is like 1% trick, 99% nature. That means nature can handle itself, but since it is heavily loaded, it cannot stand up. You just push it, lift it so that it stands up and then start doing the work. It is like if you want to carry a big luggage which you cannot carry very easily, take very easily. Somebody will carry it and put it on your head. Then you walk. We do this lifting. So for this trick, it requires very less input, very less expense, very less energy, very less disturbance to the ecosystem. That is the sustainable model we can think of if you want to handle natural water bodies like lakes, ponds, rivers and streams.
Another excellent answer. ¿Qué más necesitas?
¿Qué opina él de los avances científicos, de los avances que los científicos colombianos hicieron en el marco del proyecto? Él cree que eso, digamos, puede ser algo por lo que Colombia puede empezar a ser reconocido o pueden empezar a aplicar en otros lugares.
Okay. So the question is, what do you think has been the contribution of Colombian scientists to the field of FICO remediation? So
Actually,
again, start your response with,
okay.
Colombian scientists have contributed.
Okay, Colombian scientists have contributed like any other scientist in other parts of the world to this problem before we started in Colombia in a very small way. I think, in my opinion, we started creating awareness among Colombian scientists between universities like Sucre or Barranquilla or Los Andes or the other universities which we last time visited in Cartagena. I think except those universities, nothing much significant work has been done by Colombian scientists. But now, since we have created awareness, now we are shown the way, and there will be more and more people will come, because you need a lab support and we are there in the field. So both together can contribute much more practical application than before.
¿Cuál es la importancia del agua en su cultura?
Okay. Yo tengo una más. What is the importance of water in India?
India, we have very, very severe water scarcity, and we have big population to support, and the rains are failing, the monsoons are failing. So now we are talking about sewage recycling and better management of water in agriculture, and the increasing the catchment area, the improving the groundwater level by rain harvesting, and all these things are going on now. Only because of that, because although these rivers in Meghalaya, I was talking about some time back, where we have projects running, they became acidic long back, but they never bothered because there were other sources of water available. Now they have become scarce or they have become polluted. Now they want to go back to their rivers, which are already polluted or acidic. So acidic water has to be neutralized and then treated before you want to use it. So now the government is focusing on that, supporting a lot of projects. Otherwise, the natural water bodies always belong to the government. So more than the scientists, more than the technology, more than the availability of know-how, it is the political decision that makes a difference in natural water bodies anywhere in the world, in India also definitely. And we are running short of water definitely. So this kind of recycling of sewage, Singapore is doing. Singapore is drinking its own sewage. Very efficiently, you can collect from tap and then drink it. So when Singapore can do it, why can't India or any country in the world? So in that way, not only India, many countries, the water problem, water scarcity and treatment, recycling of water, water management, and water harvesting, rainwater harvesting. These are all going to be very important things in the very near future.
Excellent. Okay, last question. I want you to talk about one successful project that you've done in India in treating a natural water body with FICO remediation. So I know there's the river project. I know that there was
Yes.
the lake.
So I'll.
Hold on a second.
Okay. Okay. I start.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, when we started working on wastewater, polluted water bodies, the first project we got was restoring a polluted lake in North India. That was polluted because it's in a village. So the village wastewater and the runoff from agriculture, the fertilizer and other things, and they also use this water for cattle washing and many other things. So the cyanobacteria, harmful cyanobacteria, started forming a mat along with duckweeds. So that has cut the light. So when the light is not penetrating below the scum of algae, just below the scum, the water becomes anaerobic, no oxygen. So when there is no oxygen, the anaerobic bacteria start growing, and water become blackish, foul smelling, coliform bacteria develops, and the water is not usable. And the government of Uttar Pradesh in India, they have banned the use of that lake water. So that was given to us. So we had plan A, plan B and plan C. The plan A worked. The plan A is the FICO plus technology, what we call FICO plus technology. So to start with, FICO plus technology as such doesn't require algae. We don't need to grow algae and then put. We are, because the wastewater itself has algae. Why you want to put again algae? So what we did was, in the cyanobacterial mat formation, the cyanobacterial filaments, they have the capability to scavenge iron. That's why the other algae are not growing. The scavenge iron using what they call as siderophores. They produce some chemicals which will scavenge iron. They are called siderophores. So because of siderophore activity, iron scavenging happens. When the iron is not available to other algae, they cannot utilize nitrogen. For utilizing nitrogen, you need iron. So when you catch hold of iron, others cannot utilize nutrients. So that's how the cyanobacteria dominates. So during daytime, they will be floating. When you go in the evening, when it darkens, they sink to the bottom. In the morning, they come up. So this kind of sinking and coming up requires a buoyancy, a floating mechanism. That happens if you see those filaments under microscope, you will see a lot of gas vacuoles being formed continuously. So when the gas vacuoles are formed, with spending a lot of energy, they will be in floating. When the gas vacuole stops forming, they will sink. It is like a hot air balloon. You go on heating it, it will be in float. If you stop it, it will come back. So it requires a lot of energy. So the strategy was, can we interfere with this siderophore activity so that they lose this dominance over nitrogen, so that other algae will compete very easily and start growing in a natural way. That's how we started. So we did some experiments in the laboratory with the cyanobacteria and other beneficial algae which are isolated from there, and then tried to find out whether using some micronutrient trace elements, growth factors like growth hormones, we started mixing and adding. That actually interfered with the siderophore, and the available Fe increased, and other algae started growing. Then this we formed as a strategy, plan A. So we made a powder of micronutrients, what we call as FICO Plus. It's an organically derived powder with a lot of nutrients, micronutrient trace elements, growth hormones and other growth factors. So that is added to the surface of the lake, sprayed mixed in water, and when it dissolves, it starts acting. In other words, we will be adding based on the surface of water per acre of kg. That worked. Then when we started adding microalgae along with the FICO+, then the benefit we got in doubled. If we are able to retrieve it in 15 days, we could retrieve it in a week. So FICO+ as a chemical, organic chemical alone will do. That is what we call as FICO+ technology. But it depends on case by case. I mean, it may not work with all cases. When you need to put algae in that, like in sucre, you have to put algae along with FICO+. FICO+ will initiate better multiplication, better activity of the algae and bacteria for degrading the pollutants. So recently we supplied it to a central research center in Delhi. They tried it in a very small water body, and they found their results are very interesting. They found that the leaves that have fallen into the small water body, they have started degrading much faster when we applied this FICO+. So this is I think this we have not brought it to Colombia. That is our main weapon. Algae is a supporting weapon. Firepower is FICO+. The army or the army soldiers or the algae. So you cannot just send the soldiers without weapon. They can fight, but the fight will be very tough. If you armor them with this FICO+, they fight much better. So we are just waiting for the export license to. I think we have already got it. I didn't tell you, but it's very expensive to export. So we wanted to manufacture it in Colombia. Later, where we are going to have some agreement, we are going to manufacture that, so that will become cheaper. Half kg per acre, 3 times with 1 week gap. That will do. Half kg per acre is nothing. It's not even 0.25 ppm, not even 1 milligram per liter.